Hello, and welcome to the Game Room. Now, D&D alignments. Some of us use them, some of us don't. Unsurprisingly, this video is for those who do. Now, for too long, D&D alignments have been seen as a straitjacket, something that binds your character, that constricts your character. But, good news everyone! You can take that straitjacket right off and run bare-ass naked down the street, because alignment shouldn't bind you. Rather, alignment is a guidebook that you look into and it says, this is how a lawful neutral character will probably feel about this situation. So, let me be your guide through the world of alignments. Take my hand and step inside my unmarked van, because this is the alignment assignment, and today's alignment is lawful good. Now, let's break lawful good down into its two halves, law and good. Now, what do lawful characters value? They value order and balance and fairness and good planning and consistency and the law of the land in general. They will keep their word and they will be dependable, and when a lawful character gives an oath, they will keep it. Now, what do good characters value? They value charity and kindness and justice and defending rather than attacking, and they admire selflessness, and they will make sacrifices for others. They will defend sentient life and the rights of others. The worst thing that a lawful good character can see is an evil character getting away with injustice, an evil character flaunting the law and doing what they will. These are the values of a lawful good alignment, and these are the things they will most likely hold. There are, of course, more values that your character may hold that are within lawful good or completely alignment neutral. Many alignments can be patriotic. For example, both Superman and Captain America are just as patriotic as Lex Luthor and Dr. Doom. In fact, Lex Luthor became president of the United States for a while in his lawful evil schemes. So what I'm saying here is that alignment doesn't have to bind you. It doesn't have to tell you what your character will value. It's just giving you a guide as what they will probably value. Now, an alignment is made out of the two axes of law and chaos. So you have to ask, what does your character value more? Now we look at the moral quandaries that a character may face. Now, does a lawful good character enjoy law or good more? In the video game Baldur's Gate 2, there's an interesting example of this. There was a paladin, and when he was away on his assorted quests and his assorted crusades, he returned to find that his wife had taken a lover in his absence. Now, the law of the land, and this is the lawful side of the argument, says that all adulterers in this nation must be killed. Not only is this scandal going to affect him, but it is affecting his family name. It is affecting the reputation of his paladin order. It extends and affects all those that he cares about in his life. Now, the good side of the argument is, of course, mercy. You know, he's been away for most of his marriage, and his wife was lonely, and she cannot be blamed for seeking solace with another. Also, killing her is far too harsh of a punishment and is not a good action at all. And so, what is a lawful good character to do in this situation? What would your lawful good character do? You'll need to think about these things as the difficult choices come up in their life. Too often, lawful good will fall into a trap of being a square-jawed, Dudley Do-Right, cartoonish sort of hero. Often the alignment is written off as being boring, impractical, unrealistic, and at worst, it is dubbed lawful stupid and is brushed away. Luckily, it does not have to be that way. Lawful good is probably the best alignment for presenting moral quandaries to a character, because they are unique in that both their lawful side and their good side will cause them guilt and shame about actions that they have taken in their life. First, we need to establish that a lawful good character not only can, but should have bad habits. They might have a greedy streak. They may be an otherwise honorable dwarven thane, and he takes great pride in his mines and the wealth of his kingdom, and he is ostentatious and opulent in his clothing that is always woven from the golden hair of the Aurum Vorax. He's still a good character, but he is ostentatious, and he very much cares about his wealth and his gold and showing it to others. A lawful good character may indeed have an offensive intolerance for non-humans. They might be at a feast, and when they see an elf or a halfling, they simply assume, like, ah, that is the cup boy, bring me more wine, servant. Because they see non-humans as being beneath them. But because they're lawful good, when the chips are down, when a battle ensues, they will still defend these non-human characters with their life, because they're still lawful good. They're just kind of a jerk. They might have an abundance of arrogance. A lawful good cleric of Lathander has an enormous opinion of himself, because a god of all things is not only talking through him, but to him, and he is the leader of the church. But he may have this swelled head. He will never turn away those who come to his temple for aid. He's just very concerned about his reputation, about being the best cleric in the land, and he makes sure that everyone knows it. Now, no one is immune to having character flaws, and lawful good characters are no exception. The fact that a lawful good character will find these internal flaws to be more shameful than most makes it actually very fun and interesting to play these out in a lawful good character. Now, for moral dilemmas, probably one of the biggest that a lawful good character, and good in general, can face is the fact that you cannot save everyone. This is a classic superhero dilemma. Not every quest can be done, and not every Timmy can be pulled out of the well and saved. The lawful good character, however, will try this, and it leads us to the sad fact that there are old lawful good characters. There are bold lawful good characters, but there are no old and bold lawful good characters. More so than any other alignment, the lawful good character will be haunted by the ghosts of the past and the lives that he was not able to save. Now we ask, who is lawful good? What characters from popular culture are an example of this alignment? Almost every superhero, especially ones from the Golden Age and the Silver Age, are lawful good. The aforementioned Superman and Captain America are both lawful good. Now, in the old days, they were not as nuanced and interesting as they are now. See, in 1986, this happened. Also in 1986, you happened. That was just to weird you out if you have a 1986 birthday. Anyway, in this, The Dark Knight Returns, Superman, he ruminates upon the nature of power and the nature of protecting the human race that has seemed hell-bent on destroying itself with war and nuclear attacks. In the Marvel Civil War, Captain America is forced to choose between the lawful side of his alignment and the good side, and he ends up choosing what he feels is the good side, and he becomes an outlaw, despite retaining his lawful good alignment when he's on the run. These are the sort of choices that a lawful good character must ruminate upon and think about as they quest about the lands. Now, Ned Stark from Game of Thrones is also lawful good. He sacrifices his comfort and his safety to serve as the king's hand, to serve his best friend in the city of King's Landing, a viper's nest of intrigue and backstabbing. And while he is there, his honor and his lawful good alignment actually becomes a liability to him, though he refuses to give it up, as he is forced to make very difficult decisions to survive in this brutal land. And so finally, let's look at lawful good in a society. What is a lawful good society like? First, almost every society will in fact claim to be lawful good. They will say, look how safe our streets are. Look at our happy citizens. Our trains are always running on time, and our mass graves are immaculate. But I'm not talking about a society that claims to be lawful good. I'm talking about a society that is in fact lawful good. Now, what would a lawful good society entail? The merits are obvious. There is safety, efficiency, justice, mercy, and stability in this society. A lawful good land, the benefits really just speak for themselves, so instead I'm going to focus on the flaws. Now, the rigidity of a lawful society may hinder the flexibility of the society and may slow progression. It may be slow to adapt to a changing world. I think you would see this a lot amongst dwarven kingdoms that are very traditional and refuse to change. The good portion of the alignment means that there are simply things this society will not do. Refusal to hire assassins and saboteurs and other inglorious bastards is a good action, but it is a disadvantage when the enemies of this nation have no qualms about using such tactics. Much like the aforementioned example of Ned Stark, he was at a disadvantage when his enemies would do things that he would not. Often, a lawful good society must choose between its soul and its safety. Let the PCs in on these choices if they are higher up in the rankings, if they have some say in the society. It can indeed be a heart-rending experience for them to make these sort of choices. Stay tuned for further episodes on all 9 alignments of the D&D system. Thank you for watching, and happy gaming, everyone.